Hi everyone, welcome back to PBS India. So as discussed earlier, now I'm going to write uh, FDA examination to get free certificate. So how to get free FDA certificate we are going to discuss, and I do demo. So that is easy to understand you people. Step by step demo. This is part 2. So in part 1 we spoke about how to get FDA certificate instructions, but I'm doing for easy understanding. So friends, I request you to please do subscribe to our channel PBS India for more updates. Tutorial on how to get FDA free certificate by demo. So I do write an exam at FDA website. So you learn step by step process. So end of this session, you are going to understand how to write an exam at FDA website, and you will also get more certificates that to free of cost. So do friends, open browser like Google, then type keyword as CDER world. Just a second, I do open Google. So we are at Google. So as I said, CDER world, CDR world. So that first is only CDR world FDA is there. Access data FDA.gov. So click on CDR world FDA. So this is a home page of CDR World, making the work of CDR transparent on the web. So this is a CDR workstations like CDR, how they are doing virtual classes. So previous session we discussed about CDR scope of the CDR world. So CDR will populate these web pages with information based on the CDR International Forum series. CDR World will expand as modules are developed, designed and posted on the web. So friends, మనం ఇప్పుడు sorry, we are at now CDR site. Here, see, e-learning courses currently available in CDR world. So what are the courses available here? FDA Human Drug Review and Approval Basics. FDA Human Drug Review and Approval Basics. In that one lesson is there. Introduction to FDA Human Drug Review and Approval Basics. And one more session, World of CDR Advisory Committee Process. Lesson is World of CDR Advisory Committee Process. Okay. And next is World of Compliance. In that, total of 6 lessons is there. Means 6 courses. The first course, as spoken in the previous session, Office of Compliance Overview, Manufacturing and Product Quality, Scientific Investigations, Bioequivalence and Good Laboratory Practice Inspection Programs, Enforcement Responsibilities, Risk Management and Drug Surveillance. And one more is World of Generic Drugs. In the 2 lessons is there, Generic Drug Overview, Abbreviated New Drug Review Process. So these are the free online courses. Just we have to go open the link and we have to read and write an exam and get certificate. The exam also having like a few multiple choice questions. It's very easy questions. And final it's World of New Drugs, role of Office of New Drugs, the drug review process, biologics review, pediatric regulations, World of Drug Safety, activities and responsibilities of CDR Office of Surveillance and Epidemiology. So these are the courses available, friends. So, so I will choose best topic, World of Compliance. Okay, Risk management, drug surveillance. So we do this lesson 6 course. So just you click on this world of compliance. So this is home page of the course section here. Welcome note is there. If you cannot watch videos, please follow this link to the help of section for a quick interface tutorial. So here the courses, world of complaints overview, manufacturing. So risk management and drug policy. What we choose in? I am going to choose this one. Risk management and drug surveillance. So click on this. Okay. So here the course is there. Begun is there, na? So abridged and comprehensive is there. Just you choose anyone and start begin. This is a session learning objective is you have to read all these things. Upon completion of the abridged risk management surveillance tools unit, you will be able to. So, this session having total of 26 slides. So in this course we are going to learn recognize risk management and surveillance tools used in the drug manufacturing industry. Good. Describe drug registration and listing. Explain the adverse drug experience reporting system. Super. Describe the drug quality reporting system. State the purpose of the field alert reporting system. All are good topics. Describe risk evaluation and mitigation strategies for drug manufacturers. Describe the drug product surveillance sampling program. List the procedures for the drug product surveillance sampling program. Describe the post-market drug surveillance program. So all these learning objectives are very good. So then once you read all these things, just you come to here and click the next page. See the page 2 of 6 open, no? So overview. This is the overview. The Office of Complaints manages a post-market drug surveillance compliance program that serves to protect the public health through surveillance and testing of globally sourced products to minimize exposure of non-compliant. So like this, we have to read all these things. Once you read overview of the course, then click drug registration and listing. So the Office of Compliance uses qualitative and quantitative data analysis and strategic problem solving to target compliance actions and develop innovative compliance strategies to reduce public health risk associated with the uh, violative products. The drug registration and listing DRLS is a key component of a FDA's ability to monitor drug safety. So friends, you have to read thoroughly, and if any required, you have to note it down the important points. So then once you complete this slide, click on next page. Here FDA relies on registration, listing, and US agent information to administer many key programs including post-marketing surveillance, user-fee assessments, counterterrorism, counterterrorism, monitoring of drug shortages and availability, products being marketed without an approved application. So like that. Next, here the talking about with the electronic drug registration and listing (EDRLS), which began June 2009, FDA no longer expects paper submissions for drug establishment registration and listing unless a waiver of granted. So, like this, explained about the electronic drug registration listing process. Here, the main points what they covered here. FDA having the two things: daily med and facts FDA. National Drug Code Directory as accurate and comprehensive reflections of the what is listed with FDA, the National Drug Code. So friends, you have to read all these things and then click next page. Here the topic Adverse Drug Experience Reporting Program. So ADE. So where we are, these are the course and learning objectives, overview, drug registration. So these are the slides. Finally, here is a certificate of completion is there. So here knowledge check is there, no? So in this slide on knowledge check, no, you will get multiple choice questions. Once you clear these questions, you will get a certificate of completion. So ADE, Adverse Drug Experience Reporting Program. The Adverse Drug Experience Reporting Program ensures that safety reviewers receive required drug product safety data from sponsors of approved drug products. Since the drug approval process often exposes only a few hundred or thousand patients to a drug in clinical trials prior to approval. The adverse experience reports for a drug are an important source of safety information. When the number of patients or consumers exposed to the product greatly increase into the tens and hundreds of thousands up to millions after product approval and marketing. The ADE Adverse Drug Experience Program reviews the periodic mandatory reports that are received from sponsors, all manufacturers, packers, distributors, and anyone those name appears on the label must also submit reports of the adverse events. So, like that, you have to read step by step and important points you have to note down. Evaluation and submission of post-marketing ADE reports. FDA requires companies to have written procedures. The written procedures are reviewed to ensure the company is actually doing what it says it does. Investigators determine if information submitted is complete, accurate, submitted in time as required, and categorized properly. Additionally, the OC sends information, Office of Compliance sends information on submitted ADE reports to the investigators while they are performing the inspections in order to compare what the company submitted with what they have in their records. Similar to other compliance inspection programs, the investigators then submit reports to the OC for review and determination if any regulatory action is required. Investigators ensure that firms are adequately reviewing, investigating, and notifying FDA of reports of adverse events for their products and taking appropriate action, including possibly submitting additional information to FDA that might alter the label or status of their product. Okay. Drug Quality Reporting System DQRS. The Drug Quality Reporting System provides consumers and healthcare professionals with a mechanism to report marketed drug quality problems. DQRS helps protect public health by identifying product quality issues that require corrective action, including identifying significant health hazards from individual product problems and detecting both industry and firm specific problems. Drug quality reports are also used to identify industry trends associated with pharmaceutical manufacturing, packaging, and labeling. Information from these reports is shared with the US Pharmacopoeia to enhance compendial standards for drug products. Important characteristics to understand about DQRS reporting. It is a voluntary process. Most reports are received from healthcare workers. FDA receives these by mail, phone. Identify quality issues may require sample collection. So like that. Now, Field Alert Reporting System FARS. The Field Alert Reporting System requires companies that have an approved drug in the United States to submit a field alert report whenever it becomes aware of a problem with a product. The primary purpose of the NDA Field Alert program is to quickly identify drug products that pose potential safety threats. All drug manufacturers with approved NDAs and ANDAs are required to submit field alert reports to the FDA if they find any significant problems with an approved drug. A field alert report is required when further investigation is needed. and corrective action must be taken. Corrective action includes revising the formulation, changing the label, or recalling the product. A field alert report is not required when a problem can be resolved within 3 working days. A field alert report is not required when a problem can be resolved within 3 working days, such as an analytical lab error. Reports must be submitted to district FDA offices within 3 days of a problem being identified. Okay, this requirement applies to any company if the drug is approved in the US. Companies are required to report any incident that would cause the drug product or its labeling to be mistaken for or applied to another article. So, reporting is required for contamination, chemical or physical changes, product deterioration, or testing of anything that does not meet specifications. When indicated, district offices will follow up with firms on FARs that require immediate attention or action, while other field alert reports are used to determine when additional inspections of a firm are warranted. Complaints ensures that these reports are reviewed and that appropriate actions are taken in a timely manner to protect public health and ensure the quality of the drug available to the American public. So, like this, friends, you have to read thoroughly. So these are all subtopics are very important because field and reporting is very important. Drug quality reporting system is also important. ADE important. Drug registration listing is important. So all that's very good and good informative topics. No, so read thoroughly and understand the what are the important points you have to note that. Of course, the total what we reading total 100% important only. Adverse events related to drug absorption or elimination must be considered in a bioequivalent study. Important point. For example, if subjects vomit within a certain period of administration of the test article, that can make a significant difference as to the amount of drug that actually gets absorbed. This reaction may alter the time profile or concentration time profile for that subject. Adverse events need to be documented so that it is clear what happened during the conduct of the study. So FDA has a requirement for the retention of reserve samples for bioequivalent studies. These are representative of the drugs that were actually used in the conduct of the study and must be randomly selected by the site that is doing the testing. Reserve samples cannot be pre-selected by the sponsor. So for additional information, please see the following materials: 21 CFR 32038 and 32063. Retention of BA and BE samples. Use a Federal Register Notice Volume 58. So in future sessions, we are going to discuss about 21 CFR 32038 and 3263. And FDA guidance document handling and retention of a BA and BE testing samples. So almost we completed 50%. Next, drug product surveillance sampling program. Drug product surveillance. Complaints also manages the drug product surveillance program, which uses targeted surveys to assess the quality of the nation's drug products. Complaint surveys both domestic and foreign drug products and APIs. Again, using a risk-based management system to identify domestic and foreign drug products and APIs that expose consumers to the highest risk. Office of Compliance selects specific drug products for collection and sampling. The agency's districts laboratories then analyze the targeted products for conformity with applications, compendial standards, and manufacturer specification. In addition to ensuring the quality of the sampled products, the program benefits public health by promoting public confidence in the quality of the nation drug supply, maintaining the surveillance of newly approved drugs, and the industry to ensure compliance with the current good manufacturing regulations, identify potential counterfeit products, identify methodology and emerging drug quality problems. So friends, actually I'm reading very fastly because this is a demo program to how you people going to follow the link which I going to provide in a description. Go to that link and open and read thoroughly and understand, then write the exam and get free FDA certificate. So almost lesson start as 60%, 60% done. So total 16 of 26 slides is there. Written procedures help assure consistency and should include acceptance rejectance criteria, chromatography acceptance, repeat analysis. Another issue under repeat analysis is the idea of incurred sample reproducibility, demonstrating reproducibility of the method with the samples that have resulted from closed subjects as opposed to reproducibility from spiked samples. Missing or error prone sample processing records make it impossible to determine if samples have been processed in a timely manner or if the stability and integrity of samples have been compromised. FDA sometimes finds that reserve samples have not been maintained. Either they are not there at all or were not selected at the site but were pre-selected by the sponsor. Sometimes interventions are considered objectionable, other times not, but it is not consistent throughout the run. So it's unclear whether or not things were being selectively accepted or rejected, and sometimes the method values are incomplete. The final topic is risk evaluation and mitigation strategies. REMS. In December 2007, the Food and Drug Administration Amendments Act (FDAAA) gave FDA the authority to require sponsors to develop and comply with the risk evaluation and mitigation strategies. Before a drug is approved, FDA may determine a REMS is needed to ensure that the benefits of the drug outweigh the risk of the drug. Alternatively, once a drug is approved, if there is no REMS in effect, FDA may determine a REMS is needed and require the sponsor to submit. If this if the secretary becomes aware of new safety information and determines that such a strategy is necessary to ensure that the benefits of the drug outweigh the risk of the drug. If FDA requires a REMS, the sponsor must submit within 120 days or within such reasonable time as FDA requires to protect the public health. The implementation section of FDAAA requires the sponsor of a drug to take reasonable steps. So these are the penalty is dollar 2,50,000 per violation, and not to exceed 1 million dollars. Like this is a tolerance for a single procedure. If the violation continues after FDA notice, the fine doubles every 30 days, but not to exceed $10 million. It's very costly. Cost. For more information about what needs to be done, conduct a GLP study, see the good laboratory practice. So non-clinical studies under. Here what they say, during a surveillance GLP inspection, domestic facilities are inspected to assess the general capability conduct GLP compliance studies. Surveillance inspections are generally more of an overview of the process and procedures of the facility. There is a data added during the course of the inspection to assess some of these process and procedures, but it is not considered a directed inspection. These inspections are opportunities for industry to gain an understanding of what FDA is looking for and a chance to improve procedures that do not meet FDA expectations. It's nice. GLP-1's flexibility, who is identified as a single point of study, control, and uses scientific judgments to make decisions about what needs to be done for a given study, has to follow the protocol. But if there is the need to accept scientific judgment, study director has to make sure things get on track and get done right. It's very interesting topics. There are other GLP principles, for example, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) GLP. There are many common items between FDA regulations of Part 58 and OECD GLP principles. Those complying with OECD GLP are probably in compliance with Part 58 because of the commonalities between the principles. It's fine. Oh, we're almost completed the knowledge check. Session knowledge check has started. So I will try my level best. For what reason was a drug registration and listing established? For what reason? To allow for an orderly categorization of various drug groupings, to standardize the manufacturing process of generic drugs, to help protect the public from adulterated and misbranded drugs, to simplify the task of identify counterfeit drugs, to help protect the public from adulterated and misbranded drugs. I believe this. Which of the following is true? Not true regarding the adverse drug experience reporting program. Not true. Ensures that safety reviewers receive required drug product safety data from the sponsors. This is true. Reviews the periodic mandatory reports that are received from sponsors. This one also true. Identifies and analyzes the discrepancies in the reporting of adverse effects. This one also true. Requires all parties whose names appear on the label to submit reports of adverse. This one also like true. All are true only. So which is not true? Requires all parties whose names appear on the label to submit reports. Reviews of periodic mandatory reports that are received from the sponsors. Which of the following is not true regarding the adverse drug experience reporting program? Which of the following is not true of the drug quality reporting system? Not true. Again, not true. Which of the following is not true of the drug quality reporting system? Drug quality reporting system. It is an obligatory process. Obligatory process might not required. Most reports are received from the healthcare workers. Okay. FDA receives these reports by mail. Okay. Identified quality issues may require sample collection. Okay, this is also quality reporting problem. So I will try with this grade. Then click on this incomplete. Yeah. What is this incomplete? The correct answer was identifies and okay. Out of three questions, two questions are correctly right. So the correct answer was identifies and analyzes discrepancies in the reporting of adverse. So this you have to write. Okay. Wow, you have completed this session. Fill out the information below and obtain a PDF certificate by following the download link. Name to be displayed on the certificate. So you have to write your name. So I write my name as uh, Mahinder. Download the certificate as a PDF for N Mahinder. So my certificate is going to download. Wow, certificate of completion. This is to certify that N Mahinder has successfully completed the risk management and drug surveillance abridged on this date of Monday, May 11, 2020. This is a FDA album. Educational credits are not available for this session. Okay, friends. So, hope you understood how to get the certificate. One second. So, friends, if you like this content or information, please do refer to your friends. So, I would like to share the how to get free FDA certificate to you people. So, like that also, share to your our pharmaceutical employees. They will get some information from FDA. They will get some knowledge, and also they will get certificates. Uh, Please express your concerns on this tutorial and post your comments. We do feel very happy if you like this session, and please do subscribe to PBS India. Thank you. So we are going to discuss a few topics very soon. So I do try my level best, and most of the senior people are also going to uh, conduct few sessions. So do subscribe to don't miss out our channel future upcoming sessions. Thank you.